Once you've made your crooked knives, the last step is to give them a good sharpening. So here's a couple things I've learned. One is, as hard as I try, getting a good bevel on the inside of that blade is a little tricky. And so to refine that bevel, I found that a non-traditional tool for a traditional tool works pretty well. I've got a small grinding stone in my Dremel tool here, and I'm going to use that to carefully shape my primary bevel. Once I'm pleased with that bevel, we can then proceed much as we would as if we were sharpening a chisel. The first thing I'm going to do is worry about the back of the blade here. And what I want to make sure is that the back is nice and flat. I don't want to bevel on that edge. And I want to bring it to a nice mirror polish. I've got a small ceramic stone here which is going to work very well for that. I'll use a little bit of oil on it. And then just proceed to rub it all along the back, nice smooth strokes, until I see a nice mirror edge form against the cutting edge. Sharpening is kind of a slow, patient process here. So we want to just take our time and keep after it. And once we get all our bevels formed this first time, it's a lot easier to do touch-up sharpenings later on. All right, well, I think I've got a pretty good mirror polish on that first 32nd of the blade there. So now I'm going to proceed with creating a secondary bevel against my primary bevel on the inside of the blade. To do that, I have a set of slipstones here. All sorts of good shapes, which work very well for an odd blade like this. So nice smooth strokes. Try and use the full length of the stone as much as you can. And as before, we just want to take our time and do a very nice job. Once we have a nicely formed edge, the last step is going to be to hone the blade. We want to get rid of that little burr and polish things up nicely. So much as we would with any other tool, I'm going to start with the back. I've got some honing compound here, and I'm just going to charge up a little scrap piece of MDF, and I'll begin to just draw the blade across that and polish that edge and put a slight bevel on it, just enough to take off the curl of metal that's formed during the sharpening process. Now for the inside here, that's kind of a tough shape, so I actually have a little piece of dowel here, and I'll just go ahead and charge that up with a little bit of this compound, and I'll draw this across the edge, opposite direction of when we were using the stones earlier. And there we go. That should form a pretty nice edge. It's easy to repeat when you find your knife getting a little bit dull. And that's how we finish off our crooked knives.